In Q4 of 2024, I did a 3-month-long test using just a loop resistance band setup, and many of them using the GEKU products. And today I have another product that could fit into that build, which are the GEKU resistance bands. So these things could replace my serious steel bands if they hold up to the quality for the price that they come in. Now, I already own quite a few GEKU home gym products, and those would be 2 of the resistance bands bars, both the original black one and the aluminum alloy version. I also have the board that you can stand on, and I have the ab roller wheels. And I've combined these in the past in order to build out a full home gym setup. You can take a look at my actual program over at GamerBody.com. But with that, I'm going to go over the new GEKU resistance bands and give my feedback on if it's something I think can enhance your home gym. Now, I bought these on Amazon for the price of $43.99. It does come with a few extras I'll get into as well with the unboxing, but for the price of this, I think this is excellent. Definitely comes in right at this price range. I don't think it should go much higher, if at all. Now, the bands were delivered to me on March 9th, and I've been kind of playing around with them since, but now I've got a good feel for them and wanted to make my full review, so let's take a look at those bands. Now, for the unboxing, you will get a few items. First off, you will get 5 different colored loop resistance bands, all ranging in different thicknesses and sizes. That way you can use the one that fits your skill level based on how much resistance it can provide to you. Next up, you'll get 1 aluminum alloy heavy duty handle. I don't really care for this. I don't know why they only give you 1 of them. I guess if you want to do like unilateral training, you can, but I really have no use for this. If you want to use this as something to kind of compare what the bar is like, because the handle's kind of similar, that's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, I'm not really going to use this at all. Next up, you have a door anchor. So if you want to set up door exercises and lock it in there, you can use that. It's pretty standard, nothing fancy there, like a $10 max door anchor, if that. From there, you'll get a bag. The bag is horrible. I recommend finding something else, like a good drawstring bag or something. I'm actually moving to a backpack, like a hiking backpack for mine, which works really well. But do know I am not going to use that bag at all, as it is horrible. And you'll get also a workout like booklet that shows you some of the exercises and things you can do with it, as well as some other information on the bands. So with that, let's break down the 5 bands you get and the resistance range that they can provide to you. Now, it's going to be denoted in pounds, but just know it doesn't really match that. It's just giving a range of what kind of resistance it can supply. So the first one is the smallest band, which is the yellow band, which says it has a range of 8 to 15 pounds and has a width of 2.5 inches. Next up, we have the red band, and this one is 15 to 35 pounds and has a width of 0.5 inches or half an inch. The next one is the blue band, and this one has a range of 25 to 65 pounds and is 0.8 inches wide. Our fourth band is the purple band, which has a range of 35 to 85 pounds and is 1.25 inches wide. And the last one, the heaviest one, is the green band, and this one has a range of 50 to 125 pounds with a width of 1.75 inches. Now, each of these bands, if you cut it and then lay it flat, are 41 inches and made of 100% natural latex. Now, in the past, there are some bands that have different layering styles that are supposed to make them like stronger. I have no idea what this type is, but if I had to guess, it's something very similar to the SunPow bands, as they feel and look very, very, very similar to that product. I would not be surprised if they were the same manufacturer. I have no idea if they are, but when I took them out, I immediately thought that they actually were the SunPow bands, just with a different label slapped on them. Now, it's almost like they watched some of my old videos and took some of my ideas, because they put, for one, what Anderson has with the label of like X heavy, heavy and stuff on that. So they put that in the bands. Then they also put a little like icon indicator of which band it is. So it has like the 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, 4 dot, 5 dot to kind of just tell you what the strength of the band is that you're picking up. This is just makes it visually easier to pick a band and use it versus trying to hunt for the one that you want when you're trying to maybe add 2 bands together. So this is a great little piece that I like that they added. I'm glad that they did kind of both the combined kind of Undersun and the SunPow and put both of those icons together. However, these bands to me aren't even close to the same quality as the serious steel bands. For one, the serious steel bands provide way more tension when they are stretched. These ones are pretty simple. Again, this is kind of, for me, what I'd call a starter set. Yes, you can combine multiple together to make it really, really difficult. But honestly, these serious steel bands, to me, in quality, are far beyond this. And for the cost, it makes sense. But just know you are paying for a better quality product if you go with serious steel over these. That's not to say that this wouldn't work in terms of a home workout piece of equipment. Now, in terms of my setup with using the board and the bars, they are perfect. They fit in the board very well as in the bar, just like they would with my Serious Steel bands. So I have no problems there. If you want to use them, combine them together, set them up like I have, use all the equipment and stuff to set up your home gym. They are excellent and work very well for that particular setup. But again, these do feel quite a lot easier than the other bands. They're actually easier to use, in my opinion, than the SunPow, which is a difference. They look like them, but they actually do feel like the tension in them is not as great as either the SunPow or Serious Steel bands I've used before this. So with that, I'm gonna jump into my pros and cons. Some of these I kind of went over, but let's take a look at my pros list with these bands. So first off, you get 41-inch color-coded resistance loop bands, and they do exactly what they're supposed to, and they fit in the items I need them to. So that is a huge plus that they do exactly as advertised. Also, these take up less space than something like these Serious Steel bands. Yes, they have one entire less band, as they only have 5 instead of 6, but getting them into things like my old bag and my backpack are simple, they fit very easily, so if you're looking for something like that, these do store very well in many of the storage bags that I've used. And lastly, I think the price of $43.99 is excellent for what you get here. Again, they kind of give you a few extras even, so overall, I think the price that you are getting for this type of band is really good for what I've seen on the market. And with that, let's jump into my cons list. The first con is that these are not as premium as many other bands I've used in the past. I still miss the original Undersun bands I had back in 2020. Those things were excellent. If you watched a previous video I did not like the updated ones for 2024 for Undersun, but those original ones were awesome. The Serious Steel bands are still by far the best bands that I own. Yes, they are very expensive, but they are the quality I'm looking for. So those are the ones I'm probably going to go back to. But again, these are a decent kind of starter set, but they're not something I'd probably go and buy again if I was looking to buy the best home gym setup for resistance bands. And also, these bands feel easier to use than many others I've used in the past. I'm just not sure if something in the tension of the bands is different in the build of them. I don't know what that is because they're all 41-inch bands. However, again, these do feel a lot easier. It takes me quite a few bands to actually do some of the harder exercises. So be aware that going in, that these bands don't have as much tension as something like even SunPow or Serious Steel. I'd even say Undersun. I think like these bands of all of them feel the easiest to use. So with that, my final thoughts on the GEKU Resistance Loop bands. They are a good starter band set, solid price. So if you're looking to save money, I'd go with these. But if you're really someone looking to build a resistance bands home gym using loop bands and something similar to the setup I have, I would not go with these. I would spend more money and get something more premium. Again, Serious Steel, while very expensive, are the best that I've used. Yes, I'd have to clean them off from the dust that comes with it, but once that was kind of gone, those things are amazing and by far the best I've used on the market. And many other people I've watched also commend them for how good the quality of those bands are. I hope to see more like that come down in price because I think the price is really high for them, but the quality is there. I do like the color coding of these. I love the different icons they put on them. So if they did the icons and stuff on those and put them on the Serious Steel, that'd be like a huge upgrade to me. I'm not sure if they can get away with that, but that'd be amazing for future Serious Steel bands. I don't think they have smaller ones right now. I know many people are looking for like the smaller, like 37-inch bands or so to do like chest pressing and things. I didn't see that, but maybe they'll come out with those soon because GEKU's always adding things very quickly into their roster of items that you can choose from. So I wouldn't be surprised if smaller bands came out that you can use for those individual exercises. But overall, a decent band set, not one that I think is high on my list in terms of purchasing again if I had to, but is available if you're looking to save money and still be able to use the setup I have in your home gym. Now, if you want to see that full build, I will put a video in the description that goes over the entire setup that I have. This is always evolving, so make sure you also check out GamerBody.com to see kind of the current equipment I own and use, and you can go from there and set up your home gym the way you'd like, especially if you're someone looking to use loop resistance bands.